Welcome to the Miracle You, guiding you on the journey towards finding passion and purpose and how to discover, create, and live a life by your design. Whether your success has been plentiful or your missed opportunities have been overwhelming, we can help you become a more empowered, masterful person and show you how to share your gift with the world. It's time to inspire change from within with the host of the Miracle You, Vince Kramer.
Welcome, everyone. This is a very special episode for us because it is yet another first on the podcast.
Yes, welcome everyone. We are so happy to be here with you today to share our insight and perspective on the message we received from the Roundtable Channeling on our monthly free community channeling. For those of you that aren't familiar, Vince channels a group of energies that refer to themselves as the Roundtable because these higher frequencies join us as equals to help us live life in a way that fulfills our reason for being on Earth. This channeling happens the third Monday of every month on Zoom at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. As usual, Vince, they shared so much information with the group. Let's start with the questions they asked. They started the night by asking everyone, are you living the life that you know you can have? Are you living it daily? Have you truly shared yourself with the world? Are you making the difference in others' lives, in other places, and other opportunities? Does it fill you to a level that you have even more to share? Because if you're not in that place, we want you to ask yourself, how can I best get there? Because the best you is going to come from the sharing the amazing being that you are. Do you have those things in life that you know you deserve? They were challenging us and encouraging us. What are your thoughts on what they asked, Vince?
Well, I really believe that what they were asking us to do is to look at life differently than we normally look at it right now. So many of us are satisfied if something's missing in our life. We're satisfied for the way life is, just willing to accept it, thinking that it's not going to get any better than this. And I think what the roundtable was doing was just trying to get our attention and say, look, there are so many opportunities out there for you, and you are such an amazing being. They didn't address the fact that we came into this life for a reason, a purpose, and we knew that reason or purpose before we came in. And I think they were just getting everyone, shall we say, excited, trying to boost their energy as they were going into the channeling, because it's really time for us to look at this from the new paradigm. And when I say new paradigm, it's really another level of consciousness to be more aware of. First of all, we do bring this gift into the world. We bring this unique purpose. And it's in living our unique purpose where we're going to find the joy and happiness that we're looking for. But also, we're moving from the I conscious uh, to the we conscious, which is really understanding that we do have to love ourselves, we do have to take care of ourselves, we do have to bring our vibration in ourselves up to the highest vibration that we can hold. But it's all about us being here in community. It's all about us serving each other so we can live the fullness of who we are.
Yes, it's definitely changing the thought paradigm of I'm selfish if I take care of myself, or the thought paradigm of I'm only good if I'm in service, almost in servitude to other people. it's more than that. It's an expansion. It's definitely the consciousness of including yourself now, taking care of yourself, raising your vibration, like you said. And then when you raise your vibration, you help others raise theirs.
Across the board, if you look at all of, not all of, but a lot of the new podcasts that are coming out, these new coaches, they're all talking about self-care. How do you keep your vibration up? How do you take care of yourself in this situation? And let's face it, what has happened in the past, what's even worked in the past isn't working now. It's not working as we move into the future. And it's not going to work because of this vibrational change on the planet. So it's really about us all looking for a new way of being, a new way of showing up so we can experience in our lives in a way that supports and honors the magnificent person that we are. I'm just writing a talk right now for a group in Salt Lake, and as I'm going through that talk, it's trying to help each and every one of them understand just how special they are, and understand that they're unique. And it's that uniqueness that sets them out from the crowd. It's their uniqueness that raises their business to a new level. So it's really asking ourselves, are we empowered to do things differently in the past? Do we allow ourselves to do that? And that's the big conversation, right? That the roundtable was having this month. It's all about empowered transformation. What is it that Einstein says? Trying to do the same things and do everything the same way and expecting our life to be different is insanity.
I've certainly experienced that.
I think we all have, and a lot of the reason we do that is because we really don't know another way. And usually what happens for us is we get wrapped around someone else's way, and when we get wrapped around their way, we get lost. We try to do things the same way, and we expect them to be different, and then we lose perception of what's happening in our life, and we look on the outside for another way to do it.
So, what would you say the new way is?
Well, I think it's really what the roundtable was sharing with us. Do you understand that it's all about you in a way that it's your life, your way? Do you understand that, as we shared in the last podcast, that you have a reason for being here, and it's discovering and creating and living it is where everything will blossom for you, and it will also be where you find ways to help others do the exact same thing, find their way along the journey.
I think that in the last channeling that we were talking about, they were expanding on what is the difference between changing your life and transforming. That's something I know is near and dear to you because you teach that. So why don't you talk a little bit about the difference between transformation and change?
Well, I think the interesting thing is just recognizing that transforming is really choosing a new context, a new way to live life. And then, as I said, living it your way. So when I say choosing a new context, if you're not experiencing the vibration that you want in life, if you're not seeing in your relationships, in your business, in any aspect of your life, what you know that you deserve, that you know that you're meant to experience, what is that way? What is that context of how you want to live life? And then it's really truly about stepping into that context and not trying to change what you already have. So change is altering or modifying the life that we have now. Oh, this isn't working for me, or I don't like this. Okay, well, what's wrong? taking the time to figure out exactly what's wrong. Okay, what do I need to do to make it different? And then finding the steps to change it, when really all we have to do is just step fully into that new way of life that we want to live. Because let's face it, with change, there is so much internal resistance. Everyone resists change. And I think part of the reason, one, we don't know if we can change. Two, we think there's something wrong with us if we have to change. So now we set out to find out what was wrong with us. How do we really live life in the way that we know that we're meant to do it, but we're coming from such a low vibration when we're looking that at there's something wrong with me, there's something I have to stop doing that I'm doing. And it's really not about stop doing what you're doing. That's where the low vibration comes from. It's how do you want to live, and start living from that place.
As we've discussed, and most everyone understands and agrees, we are energetic beings and we can make a quantum leap into that new context. And that's a whole lot less resistance than the steps and the hardship of change. And it's not fake it till you make it. Remember that from the 70s and the 80s? Fake it till you make it. It's not that anymore. It's living in a new context and taking that quantum leap, getting into that new place that you want to be vibrationally, and attracting the things that you want into your life. The things that I want, but I want from knowing what best serves me and the world. I think that's pretty exciting.
I think that's one of the things that we've had missing in the past. We're always looking for what best serves me, what brings abundance into my life. And in a lot of ways, the spiritual teaching is talking about you getting what you want so then you can fulfill what others want. But it's really about loving yourself enough to know why you're here, and then sharing why you're here with the world. And then that's where the abundance comes from. It's the return for what you're giving the world, what you're giving other individuals, and you're truly stepping into being, as I said earlier, more of who you are. And it's living your divine intent. We really haven't talked about that before. And that's something that we definitely need to have a podcast around in the future. But our divine intent is that difference that we're meant to make in the world, the problem that we're here to solve. And when we're moving towards why we're here and making that difference, that transformation is easier. Like Mary said, it's truly a quantum leap, and first awareness, and then a quantum leap into to who you are, a quantum leap into who you want to be, a quantum leap into how you know life is meant to be. And when I say quantum leap, it and like Mary said, it's not about faking it till you make it. It's this is how I want to live my life. This is how I want to serve people. This is how I want to love myself. This is how I want to experience creating and bringing abundance into my life, and then start living from that place. And it's not going to be perfect. There's things that are going to come up.
Absolutely. So that's, great information about the transformation part of it. And we were talking about empowered transformation. Where does the empowered come in?
Wow, I think the first thing is knowing how we create, right? And we create with thought and feeling. The roundtable shares that with us all the time. So the question is, are our thoughts and feelings in alignment with what we want? And then, am I creating to the best of my abilities? And we talk about the law of attraction. And law of attraction is putting that energy out there and then attracting back that like energy to bring into your life what you want. But are our thoughts in alignment with that? Are our thoughts in alignment with what we want instead of not having what we want? Is our energy, is our vibration aligned with what you want to bring into your life? You know, are you using the energy of who you truly are? I like to talk about creating on autopilot, and I know the roundtable talks about it quite a bit too. When we're creating on autopilot, we're creating from an old belief system, right? We're creating from old thoughts. Our thoughts come from our beliefs, and our beliefs come from our thoughts. So it's one of those catch 22s that we have to be really careful about. Are our beliefs supporting the thoughts that we need to create? And are our thoughts coming from that let's say the subconscious part of this, where they're the same old thoughts coming over and over again, back to Einstein's insanity world, right?
Absolutely. And tell us something about how you have really transformed creating from autopilot. What's a story you could share pretty quickly about your realizing where you were creating from autopilot and then how you wanted to see and realize that differently?
I think the biggest example of that from my life is believing that I had to create everything, and that putting together the materials, building programs, uh, is what was going to then attract people into the business, and really noticing that what attracts people into the business is being who I am, sharing who I am from a point of uh, gentle power to attract people into my life from the energy of who I am, to share in a way that understand that it's not necessarily doing the work and putting the programs together. It's being the example. It's showing people that this is living from the heart. This is living from a place where you then can come from that high vibration and create. But the tendency to fall back into the old patterns happens all the time.
So before we talk about the patterns, just to catch what a great thing you just said, because the roundtable often talks about being all that you can be. I think that's what you were saying is that the transformation you experienced is when you bring all of yourself, you are being all that you could be. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think what I shared was that it was all the mental part of me that I was bringing to the world before. You know, what do I build? What do I put out there in front of people that help them on their journey, instead of being all that I could be, being that person that's a guide, being that person that is willing to take someone's hand and walk on the journey with them. That's being all that I can be. And by sharing my gifts and talents, what I'm good at, then that does open the door, like I said earlier, for others to follow their divine intent, which is really being all that they can be. And it takes all of us, and it's going to take all of us to bring the world into the vibration that we all deserve, and we're all ready to experience.
That sounds like empowerment to me.
It certainly does, and it's really coming from a place of choosing to be empowered instead of choosing to allow ourselves to be disempowered. What are some of the things that disempower us, Mary?
Well, I'll speak personally. It's the habit, the programming of being a victim. And I've had to really look at that and find in my thinking and in my thoughts. I guess that's the same thing, but what what I mean by that is my thinking is conscious and my sometimes my thoughts just pop in. Maybe that's what I meant by that. And I have I've really started to listen to what comes out of my mouth. Often am I really actually coming from a place of disempowerment by being a victim? And why? Why is my initial response in sharing with someone coming from, oh, poor me, or I don't have, lack, lack, lack? That's my initial response to you is that's my greatest learning right now. My greatest transformation is to move from the programming of being a victim and being empowered.
And what you just shared with us, all of those things come from the inside, and that's where our obstacles come from, the inside. It's our beliefs and our subpersonalities. And when Mary shared that she watches her words, she noticed where she's becoming a victim or allowing herself to be a victim. She notices what's happening inside of her. All of those truly are wrapped around our beliefs. That's why there's so many people out there that want to help us with our beliefs. And there are so many ways to change your beliefs, and we bring many of them to our clients because I think each of us needs to find our own way to one, get to our beliefs, and then two, to realize, do they support us or do they really truly disempower us? And then how do we go from there? And I really am saying this from the bottom of my heart. The beliefs are really the foundation for everything. It's this foundation for our subpersonalities. Our subpersonalities use our old beliefs to control us and to control the situations around us. They are constantly self-sabotaging us. Our beliefs are shown in the words that we use and how we communicate with others, but even more importantly, how we communicate with ourselves. And our beliefs are truly the basis for our thoughts, and that goes back to creating. If we're creating from an old set of beliefs, we're creating from an old set of thoughts, we're going to create the same old thing over and over again. How do we uncover those beliefs? And how do we uncover those beliefs in a way that we're there in awareness and we don't get stuck in the patterns that created those old beliefs, in the thoughts that created those old beliefs? Because we can sabotage ourselves and get stuck just by staying in those old beliefs. So, we're talking about transformation today. Why can't we transform our beliefs instead of try to change them or release the old beliefs? Let's just choose the beliefs that we want, the beliefs that empower us, the beliefs that support us, and then move forward from there. Because what kind of vibration is that, Mary?
Well, moving from there would be moving from low vibration to high vibration. And the high vibration is what we want. And then we can rely on the law of attraction to bring us that empowered, transformed, high vibration person, thing, circumstance into our life. It's really pretty exciting.
Yeah, and the thing that Mary just shared there that I think is extremely important is what we want. And I think we're confused a lot about what we want. We come from a place of we can have and do whatever we want to have, whatever we want to do. And that is true. We have that capability as creative beings, as magnificently creative beings. We have that capability. So when we came into this world, we brought into it this divine intent, this reason for being here. And we chose our parents. We chose where we live. We chose the upbringing that we were going to have to help us live this divine intent.
Oh, exactly. I love what you're saying. And wasn't it fun when the roundtable used the example of someone who is 5 foot tall and thinks they really want to be a basketball player? They want to be a professional basketball player, but they're only 5 foot tall. What their point was, and what you're saying, is they didn't come to this earth to make a difference through being a professional basketball player. If they did, they would have chosen different parents, ones that would have been in alignment with them being much taller and tall enough to be, a very successful uh, professional basketball player that would make the difference. And they were very clear that doesn't mean a 5 foot tall person can't be a great basketball player. But if they were going to make the difference in the world, as you were alluding to, perhaps it was to influence children or inspire people with their being a professional basketball player, then they also choose their parents to be perfectly supportive of that difference they're going to make, that divine intent.
And that's for all of us. Why did we choose the parents we chose? Why did we develop the personality that we developed? Why did we create these circumstances in our lives to help us develop gifts and talents in a combination that no one else has developed? And Mary, I know that very much sounds like that we came here with a predetermined life, but that's not true, is it?
No, it's not true, not at all. We're saying that you create your life along the way to make that difference. That you came to this earth to make a difference, but just as important is, what do you do along the way? What talents and gifts do you create? What experiences do you have?
It's definitely not predetermined if you think that each and every one of us has free will, that we have these circumstances that are created or co-created for us by our higher selves, by our 3D selves, and but we choose how to perceive them. We choose what to do with them. We choose to either develop a gift or an understanding or a new way of being, or to be the victim, like Mary shared earlier. And that's where I can honestly say we're not living a predetermined life. We're living a life that we're trying to find the way that we can best and most make that difference that we came here to make. And that's where our joy is going to come from. That's where our abundance is going to come from.
Yes, empowering yourself by raising your awareness is part of everything we've been talking about.
Yeah, we certainly have, and remember, our consciousness is what we choose to have in our minds at the time. So it's not just what we know. We shared a lot of great information that the roundtable shared a couple Mondays ago, and that information is huge, but it does us no good if we're not living from that place, if we're not using that information to be more, to do more, to have more, to show up more of who we are in the world.
To be all that we can be. I love that.
Oh, and we all can be so much more than we are right now in this moment. And I'm not downgrading or putting anyone down for where you are right now, but when the roundtable shares with a group of people like they did a couple Mondays ago, that you're not even at 25% of your capability yet.
Isn't that's like, what? I'm sure everybody on the call was a little taken aback by that, but I understand where they're coming from because they see the big picture. They know all that we can be, and we have to choose to step into being all that we can be, to transform, to be empowered, to trust, to believe, and really start to experience the joy and the abundance you are sharing.
Can you imagine a world, Mary, where each and every one of us is maybe living at 75% of what we could be, or maybe 80% of what we could be, how different the world would be.
Wow. I hope I get to see it in my lifetime.
Well, we each can see it if we do it ourselves, right? To find who you are, what you're meant to bring to the world, the difference that you're meant to bring can change others and can create the transformations in yourself and your transformations in others. It will just be amazing. We want to thank you for joining us today. It's pretty exciting to step into this new format, to choose the roundtable monthly channelings as part of the information that we share with each and every one of you, to dissect what the roundtable shares with us, and we know that we're getting it only at the vibration that we can absorb it in this moment. So there's so much more to their messages that we'll be able to share over time. But we wanted to give you an opportunity as a listener to know that this guidance is available to each and every one of us, and we all have our ways of tapping into that guidance. But it's sometimes nice to have the ability to sit on a Zoom call or sit one-on-one as these energies come in and share, because it brings so much confirmation. It brings so much understanding, especially when we're tapping into those vibrations that know what is coming in the future by who we are in this now.
It's very exciting, Vince. I just have to tell you all the time how thankful I am that you stepped into your gift of channeling and bringing this opportunity to the world. And I want to share to all that are listening to please reach out to us. This is truly our passion and our love to share what we are learning alongside you and what the roundtable brings. Reach out to us, and also you can listen to recordings and other podcasts and videos we've done on our YouTube channel.
Also, if you want to know more about this journey to channeling, what it looked like for me, what it looked like for Mary, you can purchase our book on Amazon.com. The name of the book, Awakening Through Moments of Choice, and that's available both in paperback and in the ebook format, and soon to be available in the audio book format. Also, please don't hesitate to join us on a monthly channeling. It's the third Monday of every month, like Mary shared with you earlier. So all you have to do is go to imaginemiracles.com/channeling-offer. And that will take you to a page where you can reserve your seat for the next channeling in February.
Till our next time being with you, we are looking forward to that time, and we will see you soon.
Have a great day.
You've completed this episode of The Miracle You, but we have plenty more to help you discover your own personal passion and purpose. Head over to themiracleyou.com for free resources to assist you on your journey, as well as register for our free webinar, Discover Your Miracle Life, 3 Mind Awakening Steps Toward Your Unique Purpose, or apply for a one-on-one Your Life, Your Way breakthrough session and discover your next best step on your journey. All available exclusively on our website. That's themiracleyou.com. We look forward to sharing more experiences of passion, purpose, and life by design next time, right here on The Miracle You.